everybody, this is Makeup by Virginia, and I'm Virginia, and my model today is Amra. And you know, I always get requests for that smoky, dark, deep, sexy look. So today we're going to start our series off with teaching everybody how to do that. I'm going to move quickly, and I'm going to try to do this in a 15-20 minute time span because I think that you'll get the best amount of knowledge that way without going and rambling on. So I'm going to stick to the details. And we're also going to prep the face today as well because the eyes, I could have just focused on eyes and given you that look with just the eyes, but the preparation of the face is just as important. Whenever you do dark eyes also, I think going with a soft neutral lip is perfect as well. So I've chosen to do that. And instead of using a black deep shadow, that would have been most people's probably first choice, but we have dark hair, dark eyes, and Amra has an olive skin, so I'm going to use a navy. The colors I'm going to work with today are flat as well. No shimmers here, and I'm not promoting or telling anyone to go out and get any specific products here. I'm doing what works best for everybody, and then you can take this knowledge and do what you want with it. We're going to start by prepping the eye first with a concealer. And you know, I'm big on brushes. I like brushes, but I really feel you only need 5 basic brushes. So I will tell you what brush I'm using and when I use it to get the technique that I want you to get. But again, brushes are essential. You can get them from any great company. You can spend anywhere from $45 and up on each brush, or you can go to a Walgreens or a CVS, and you know, they make nice brushes there. The hairs are good, and not everybody can afford to go out and buy the most expensive brush. So the brushes I use today are brushes that work best for me, but you can also find them in any different company or make. I'm going to start with my finger here as opposed to a brush, and I'm going to go directly under the eye. This is going to start the prep work for any dark circles under the eye. And the natural oil from the finger really helps blend the corrector concealer out to the cheekbone area. So again, directly out in the corner. When people form dark circles, they usually start in the corner as well. So don't forget the corner of the eye, underneath the lash, and then blend it out to the cheek area. Again, same thing, other eye, corner, out to the cheek area. Same product, close the lid for me. We're going to use this as an eyeshadow base as well. It'll take out any imperfections on the lid, any darkness. Sometimes people have little broken capillaries, which are like little veins. This will also cover that up. And then when you pick your eyeshadow that you're going to use, it gives it a much more true color. It shows the pigment better when you prep the eye with a corrector, concealer, a foundation base, whatever you choose to color, whatever you choose to call it, it's going to adhere the shadow better to the eye. So that's an important step. So that's why we're starting off with this. Again, in the corner of the eye, out to the brow, keeps the shadow from creasing, and then again the pigment will show its true color. Then you can take your sponge and you can lightly, not rub, but gently massage it out to the cheekbone area here. And close the eye and up in this area as well. Same product, corrector, concealer, foundation, whatever you choose to use. I tend to keep things basic. I don't think you need to spend a lot of money either. It's in the application and the technique. I'm going to use this as her base as well. That way I don't have to use a liquid and a concealer. I'm using the same product. This is a stick. It rolls up. It's creamy based. And I'm sort of just massaging it with the sponge in the areas that need it. I don't want her to look like she's wearing a mask. So I'm just going over the general area of the face. And she's got a little bit of color here, a tan from being out in the sun. So I'm going to go down a little bit on the jawline and the neck as well. the nose, the corners of the nostrils here. I'm going to lift the hair a bit and go above on the forehead as well, into the hairline. This gives a perfect natural look. And again, this is for evening, like this. Perfect. This looks great. And this is what your canvas should look like before we go ahead and set it with powder. You can use a loose powder or a pressed powder. You can use a sponge for applying your powder or a powder puff. I choose to use a brush. It's got light hairs on it. But certainly, if you don't have a brush, you can use a sponge. The same sponge, we took the other side of it, take our powder, and we just dab it on. I'm going to lay the sponge down and show you what it looks like with the brush, so you can go around again and massage the face area with the brush. Bringing it down to the neck and the décolleté. Lifting the hair, again, the forehead, and we're going to go on the lids themselves to help set the corrector. And we're doing an evening look again. Keep in mind the smoky eyes, the porcelain face, and a nude lip. This looks perfect. I mean, this looks fantastic, and that's what you want before you start with the eyes. We're going to work with two colors here for the eyes. I'm going to prep it with a rose. Most people, like I said, might use a dark black for that smoky, dark look, and you can do that. But since the hair is dark, the eyes are dark, the skin is olive, I'm going to use a flat navy, which is going to be really nice. And when the light reflects, if she's out and about in a evening setting, when the light hits the face, it's not quite black like somebody punched her in the eye. It's more of a navy, soft look that they'll see. I'm going to take one particular brush. I'm going to ask my model to hold this for me here. That's fine. You can do it like that. This is a technique I picked up that really works well. We've already prepped the eyes and the skin is perfect. The last thing we want is for shadow to fall down on any part of the face. I recommend taking a Kleenex, a tissue of sort, placing it under the eye, holding it with the hand, close the eye. Then you take your first base of a shadow, which is flat, and you place it on the lid. Anything from the shadow will fall on the tissue, not the area that you just prepped and tried to conceal with the darkness. And then also, when we get to our dark shadow, it also creates a nice angle for that. So it lifts the eyes. And it just does that naturally because you have the angle of the tissue in that area. Whoa. Okay, good. Now we're going to do the second. All right, and then close the eyes. You can see it's nice, soft. There's no shimmer there at all. It's flat, and it has presented a nice canvas for us to start with our dark main color, which will give us a smoky look. For this particular angle, I'm going to use the dark flat navy, and I'm going to use an angled brush. It's cut in an angle, so it does all the work for you when it comes to shading. It creates a nice, deep set eye. The tissue, taking your color and placing it into the lid itself on top of the rose base that we just used to prep the eye with first. This works like a windshield wiper. It's cut in an angle. I love the angle effect on any of these brushes. So if you could find an angled brush for your main deep color, that would be essential in getting this look. And again, you can blend with the finger or a sponge. And you can see how there's now an angle as well to the eye. There's an angle now from where the tissue was. Same technique, different eye. Your flat color up towards the outer part of the eyebrow and then into the eye. So you lift up